Yeah, I saw that picture. You eating them crab legs, Billy.
Hey, those things was good, man.
Where'd you go?
I forgot what's the name. It's a new place here in Knoxville.
Well,
You know we are alive right now too. So,
yeah. All right. Well, you ready to do this show?
hey, it's due time, man.
All right, guys. We're going to do this on three. One, two, three. What's going on, Facebook? What's up, YouTubes? We're back. I tell you what, Billy, it seems like it was yesterday. It was 100 days until football season. Now, I think if I count right, I'm not the brightest bulb in the bunch or the sharpest knife in the knife drawer, but I think it's what, 22 days left, something like that, ain't it?
Hey, it's close, man. It's like 3 weeks away. I mean, it's right around the corner. I mean, it's still too far away from me. I'm ready for it right now.
Yeah, we've got some great announcements. We're going to be doing a watch party. We're going to give some more details at Tap House in Knoxville. They're off of Peters Road, and we're going to be doing it all every game. We're going to be there, home and away. Be looking for that announcement coming down the pike. And I wanted to say something on this show. I was talking to our boy Sean Johnson, and I've got to know him pretty good because he's your best friend. I tell you what, he sent me a picture today, Billy, that just blow your mind. Have you always known him to be that good of an artist?
I mean, he's always been like that, man. I mean, it was times he would draw people in team meetings, and these guys would want to beat him up because he drew them so well. It used to be funny.
Yeah, I tell you what, we're going to be offering some of his art as soon as he gets his website going. We're going to put something up on our website, but he had some Tennessee pictures hand drew that just, man, it just blow your mind. And I'm proud of him, and he's wanting to venture out and try to get his work out there. And I know everybody in Vol Nation will love his work. If y'all don't follow him on Facebook, I see his posts all the time, and I private message him, and he sent me some pictures of just, man, it's just unbelievable. But y'all be looking for that on the website. We may post it up on a Facebook post or something, but I want the whole world to know what kind of artist old Sean J is. And Billy, we've got an injury. Before we get any more announcements, from your position, defensive tackle, Emmit Gooden. That's going to be a tough loss, but all great teams have to find a way to get the next man up. What kind of injuries did y'all have to deal with? Y'all had a squad. Y'all didn't have to worry about it like we've got to worry about it now. You had third stringers Albert Hainsworth and John Henderson that could fill right in. But what do you think about this injury and what's it going to do to our team that's so close to the season?
Well, it always comes back down to coaching, getting the backup guys to understand that, just because, the veteran guys are injured, you still got to step up to the plate. The coaches have to make sure these kids are ready, developing the young talent just in case injuries do happen, because you never know when it's going to happen. I mean, camp is typically when you get your first injuries, those first few, you're going to always have it. It's very rare that you get through a camp with anyone not injured. And of course, being that defensive line is going to be a tough position for us this year, which is the position I think we're going to struggle at this year. But I think we'll get it together if we can get some more bodies in there to have some depth. And with him getting hurt, that's tough on the defensive line, especially at defensive tackle.
As far as the differences between defensive tackle and offensive tackle, those are where I'm worried the most this season. You didn't seem to be all that uh, concerned about our offensive line. Maybe it's just because it's protecting our quarterback and all. But what's the difference between new guys coming in and learning as an offensive lineman versus a defensive lineman?
Well, I mean, offensive line is a little bit more different. I still say it's a little bit easier to me just because they know the play that they're going to be playing. Whereas defense, we got to kind of think what's going to happen, kind of guess, kind of like a chess situation. Well, Offensive lineman, yeah. I mean, of course, if you're not great at certain positions, it still is a little bit tough, especially for younger guys. I really think that we'll be a lot better on the offensive line just because I don't think that we'll keep the ball as long as we did last year with Garantano getting rid of the ball because he's held the ball too long last year. And I know that the coaches that we have in place for him this year, I know they're going to actually develop this kid to make him become a lot better this year. Defensive tackle, it's a lot more fun, man. I mean, defense is all you're doing is knocking people out and being violent with your hands and just getting to the ball. And that's the key to playing defense is pad leverage and being violent and just having fun. You know, offense, you got to think too much. You got to think about I got to protect this guy's blind side. I got to make sure I double team this guy and rub off and get to the linebacker. It's a lot more to it. But I really think the coaches are going to have the offensive line a lot crisp this year. I don't think we're going to see that many him getting hit that much this year.
Well, we've got somebody over here on the YouTube side that say it's a little bit hard to hear you. Where's your volume at on OBS system there, Billy?
All right, let's check, man. I think I am. I'll turn it up a little bit. See, hey, how's that sound out there?
I hear you fine, but they're saying something on the other end. Somebody said it may be their phone, but hey, everybody's saying it's good. All right, we're going to go with it. I'm going to do some shout-outs over here on the YouTube side, and then I'll let you shout out anybody over there commenting in the Facebook side. We've got our favorite and biggest Tennessee fan up in Michigan, Herbert Bradford. He's going to be doing some gold digging here pretty soon. He sent me some messages, panning for gold. Great Georgia fan, Alan V says, good morning, Catfish and Billy. We got Jason Singleton says, go Vols. And another Georgia fan, SEC dog, Michael David, Tad Stone. That's who we've got over here in YouTube. We got several more watching, but that's just who's in the live chat that I can see. Who we got over there in Facebook there, Billy?
Let's see. We got my man Dave Newcomb on here. Hey, what's going on? Hey, he saw me at the eating crab legs, and he wanted to say, I know you're going to eat a lot of those crab legs. Hey, I didn't get to eat too many, man. I brought them home, so I'm going to eat them as soon as I get off the show. Let's see. I can see my cousin on here, Shakita Dillon Holmes. What's up, cuz? You got tell me, man. Hey, man. I hope you can hear me now, man. I turned the volume up a little bit, and hopefully you guys can hear me a little bit better. Let's see. Got Flint Williams here. Hey, one of the top fans. Let's see. Hey, Luke. I see you, Luke. Hey, Troy. How's it going, man? Hey, thanks for that donation earlier too, man. You guys appreciate you for that as well. That's all right now. Hey, okay. Wait, Kerry just jumped on here. Kerry Hoop, how's it going, man?
Well, let's get into some of our announcements. For those of you that haven't seen on our website, we've launched a hashtag Sam Strong campaign that's going to raise some money for the Volunteer Roadshow Foundation, and 100% of the money we raise for the Volunteer Roadshow Foundation that me and Billy run. Going to have some other football players on the board. 100% of everything we raise for Sam Strong is going to go to fighting leukemia. For those of you that don't know, my now 13-year-old son, Sam, he was 12 when he was diagnosed this past January with leukemia. And he was down there with St. Jude. And I tell you what, you always see, Billy, these commercials are raising money, and I never have given to St. Jude before. And you don't know what you're giving to. I've heard a lot of great things, and I've always had that fear that, that could be my son, but it doesn't really hit you until it is your son. And I tell you what, St. Jude, that place it's just unbelievable. The video games in the rooms, every room. When you're there a long time, they put you up in nice apartments around town. They take care of your food, your housing. And it's just top-notch organization. And I tell you what, if I ever come into any money, I'm going to donate. But in the meantime, I want to help these guys out that's helped me out personally. We're going to donate a portion of every super chat. Everything we do, we're going to go to the Volunteer Roadshow Foundation. And we also would like to do something down in Pike County, Magnolia, Mississippi, where Billy's from, something for the youth down there. Me and Billy talk a lot off air 2 or 3 times a day, and he's got a heart for helping people. He's got some ideas about what we can do with some of the money we raise, and we just want to help people. And we already got a super chat over here, Shane Bentley. We can always count on Shane Bentley. Georgia fan down there in North Carolina. It's been a while, fellas. He says, I hope everyone is doing well and the families are doing good as well. The season is only 20 days away. Go Dogs. Well, I'm going to give you a go Dogs until we play y'all this year, because it's going to be a different story, Shane Bentley. I promise you that. MCD Sports is over here. I'm just super hyped. So back to the T-shirts. I wish we could put an image up, but we were rushed trying to get this show on time. But they're on the website, volunteerroadshow.com. We've made some posts on the Facebook page. I've made some posts over there on YouTube under the community tab. And these shirts, I tell you what, Digital Brick, I know we pay them good money to draw up these things and do all our graphics and branding, but I tell you what, they spent a long time. We changed our mind probably 20 times, Billy, didn't we?
Man, so many, man. But I mean, we had to get them right, man. I mean, they had so many different decisions, so many choices. And of course, I mean, it's hard for me to pick out a picture of myself and say it's not perfect. So, I was like, man, you guys gonna have to pick it, because I love them all. I can't put them all on us. So let's go with this one, man.
Yeah, what we got Billy's infamous play against Arkansas, where he's coming through the line, he's blowing up the line, and the Arkansas players are all in black and white, and it's got Billy in orange and white, and it just jumps out at you. It's got our logo on it, and it's got underneath, in quotations, he stumbled and fumbled, ... because every Tennessee fan, even if you weren't alive, could finish that sentence because you've watched the replay, the TV replay. And Billy Ratliff recovers was the rest of that sentence. And on the back, jersey side, number 40, Billy's number, and it's got Ratliff over the top, and then hashtag Sam Strong. So go check that out on our website. I think I've got a link down in the description on the YouTube side. But if not, just type in volunteerroadshow.com. You'll be able to see the shirts on there. You can order them right now. And we should have them in town to ship out this next week. Billy's going to go down there and autograph every last one of them. So, Billy, I hope you got your wrist all worked up there, because you got a lot of them you're going to have to sign.
Right, it won't be no problem. I got plenty of WD-40 to keep these bones and everything ready, man.
Yeah, so that's going to be a special edition that you've got, a one-of-a-kind, custom-made, blended shirt with Billy Ratliff's authentic autograph on the back on one of the numerals. So y'all go check that out. I mentioned Tap House. We're going to be doing a watch party in Knoxville at Tap House. We're going to be announcing that more. Billy's going to go by there tomorrow. I've talked to the owners, and they've got a sound stage with speaker system, playing cornhole. Hound Dogs is going to let us sell some of their merchandise there. They're going to let us sell our shirts. We're working out a good deal with them, and I can't wait till football season. And again, our website, man, Digital Brick is doing a great job on our website. We've got articles by Josh, who's written for some rival stuff, SB Nation. Luke Thomas, he's general on the YouTube side. They're writing some great articles. We've got another website coming that I'm going to start talking about before we get into some football, where we're going to offer some stuff that'll blow your mind on a subscription base, and it's all to help Sam Strong. A portion of the proceeds are going to the Sam Strong. We're going to have forums in there. We're going to have interviews with players, uncensored interview players that you can't hear on the radio, and you're not going to hear it on the TV. We already had one with Fred White, and the stories Deuce told was just they'll blow your mind. But hopefully in the next couple of weeks we'll get that ironed out. And also want to thank our other sponsors, Bet Now, of course, Hound Dogs of Knoxville, West Knoxville Florist, the beach over there. I've always called him Beach, but his name's Gary Beach. They're there on Kingston Pike. They've been in business for a long time. But a subject came up. Before we get into our subject, I'm seeing some more super chats over here on YouTube. SEC Dog just donated $20. Thank you, buddy. Great Georgia fan. SEC Dog has been watching me from pretty much the beginning. He's watched all my videos. He's in on the live chats. He loves Billy. He remembers you, Billy, like it was yesterday. And he's always talking about Billy in here. But thank you, SEC Dog, and thank you, Shane Bentley. Michael David said stumbles and fumble, Billy. Who else am I missing here? Slim Mosley, another Georgia fan. We're overrun with Georgia fans over here on YouTube. Like I've told y'all before, most of my viewers over here are not Tennessee fans on YouTube. Now, 90% of you on Facebook are Tennessee fans, but we got to get some Tennessee fans over here on YouTube.
It's coming.
Tad Stone says, praying for your son, Catfish. Watched you since you started, but never been live with you. Been a Vol fan for 40 years and going to my first game this year. Well, you better stop by, Tad, at the Tap House before and after the game, because we're going to be there from noon and until the last snap of the last game of the evening. We're going to be watching all the games there. So check us out, Tad Stone. Come by and see us. We're going to have other players stop in, and you might just see, I don't know, they might see Al Wilson. Who else might come by and see you, Billy?
Yeah, you never know, man. There's so many guys. A lot of my ex-teammates will be out, man, just to come at least come support us and check it out, see what's going on, especially with Top House, and it's going to be a great situation.
Yeah, I agree. Well, we got a call on hold. Before I do, I know who this is. He's going to give us a recruiting update. But did you hear about the Kelly Bryant not getting a ring? How do you feel about that?
I'll be honest with you, man. I can see, the frustration or whatever, but, it is what it is, man. I personally don't want a ring that I didn't actually get the opportunity to be on the team. If he's already transferred, already left, I'm still trying to figure out all the things that happened as far as, did he already transfer before? Well, actually, yes, he had already announced that already.
Right.
Yes, no, absolutely not. He doesn't deserve a ring from Clemson. He needs to go earn that. He left. He wanted to leave. He got out of the quick, fast, and in a hurry. And I still say I wish he should have stayed, because if he'd have stayed, he'd have probably been the one that won the national championship, because the quarterback that they had, this backup kid, he got hurt the next game. So he had a chance to come back in and redeem himself. So, no, he does not deserve a ring whatsoever, man. No.
Well, I agree with you, especially since he transferred before the season. But if he would have just been benched for Goldilocks there and put on the bench and transferred out of the season, then, yeah, I think he deserves it, because he started, 3 or 4 games? I don't remember, but he started the season.
Yeah, it was early.
For him.
He got injured, and, the backup came in and played well, and it's called, you got to earn your spot back. That's the way I look at it. If I lose my position based on me getting injured, I got to repeat it and come back and see if I'm playing to that same elite level and take my position back. That's the way I have always been when it comes to playing any sport. I don't like it when you just automatically have a spot. You got to earn your spot. You got to earn your stripes. You got to be able to come in and earn it. I just don't like it when people are just being catered, and it's like, here's your position. You're a 5-star player. Come on in. You can have it. No, that's not how it works in college football.
Yeah. Before we're going to take a call real quick, Billy, but when we come back from this call, I want you to be thinking about something. What was your worst locker room that you ever visited on the road when you played at Tennessee? Be thinking about that. You might have two or three, but we're going to go to the phones. The Hound Dogs hotline at 855-489-7623. I believe we've got it ticking across the bottom in our ticker. But we got Luke Thomas, one of our writers on the website. What you got, Luke?
I'm doing good. How are y'all doing today?
Hey, doing great.
Doing real good. Talk to us.
If you recall, last time I called you, I talked about how BYU was going to upset Tennessee. Remember that?
Yes, you did, and you better not start that crap, or I'll drop you. This is way too early to be doing that.
Don't worry, I'm not going to be talking about BYU. Today we're going to be talking about UAB and why I'm joking. But anyway, what I really want to talk about is Mississippi State. And me and Catfish talked about this earlier in the week about Mississippi State. And we were pretty much in agreement here. I called Pigskin Pete and told him about it, and he agreed. But I don't get why people are expecting Mississippi State to beat Tennessee. I just don't. Now, if it was last year, you can make the argument for that. But this year, they lost their entire defensive line of the NFL. That entire defensive line is gone. They lost their quarterback, who was one of the best quarterbacks they've had in years there.
Yes.
He's gone. They lost half their team. In addition to having a second-year head coach who underperformed in his first season. I have no idea how people are saying Mississippi State should definitely beat Tennessee. You can make the case that it's going to be close. I would agree with you on that. But the notion that Mississippi State is going to beat Tennessee heavily, which is apparently what some people are saying, is just wrong. What do you think about that?
I mean, I think, it's going to be a great game. I mean, just because of the fact, Mississippi State, they may not be a veteran team, anything, but they had a lot of guys that played a lot of football last year. Of course, when you lose that many guys to graduation and stuff, and you lose a guy like the quarterback that they lost last year, you lose a lot on offense. You lose a lot on defense. And I really think that Tennessee will be able to give Mississippi State, I'm thinking we're going to win by at least 2 touchdowns. I don't think anyone is giving the Vols any credit just because of what happened last year. Last year is last year. We don't know what this team is going to be like this year. All we know is what we saw last year. I'm not that type of person because I played this game and I saw how things can change in a heartbeat. There's times where people, I'll give you an example. 1998, my national championship season, no one thought we would win 8 games. No one. Everybody had thought we was going to lose everything just because we had lost my man Peyton, Leonard Little, Terry Fair, all these guys that got drafted in the NFL, and no one thought that we had a chance of winning that many ball games. I mean, I think our coaches felt that way too. We had a meeting with Coach Foreman, said, I think we might win 7 games, and I'm like, wow. And of course, Al Wilson was PO'd after that when he heard that. So imagine what practice was like. So that's what Mississippi State is thinking about right now. No one think they can do it, and when you have those type of guys like that, that's when those land sharks start coming out the water, and they're ready to fight. So I think it's going to be a great game. I still think Tennessee will come out and win by 2 touchdowns.
I think you're right, Billy. They lost some some
great players,
grown men on that defensive line.
Yes.
To the NFL, and I see Andrew Odom. He donated $10, and y'all can also go on to volunteerroadshow.com if you want to make a donation. There's a donation button. You can any amount you want. In fact, they don't take the percentage that they do over here on YouTube. You can have a recurring donation, but go check it out also on the website. But I think you're right. I think people are too high on Missouri and Mississippi State. I know that they got Kelly Bryant, but we can't let Derek Dooley beat us. We just can't. And they don't have a defense, but the only thing that Missouri has got going for them is they've got a high school schedule. So that's the only reason. But they're not the team they were last year. I'm sorry. Drew Locke's a better quarterback, I think, than Kelly
Oh,
Bryant, but I might be wrong.
no, you're right. I really think he is most better quarterback. Don't I'm not taking anything from the kid. He's still a great quarterback, but I still think he was a much better than what it is. I mean, Missouri. I mean, that's one of those sleeper teams though, Bobby. You just never know
Yeah.
what those teams can come out and do. I mean, this is the SEC, man. It's a brand new season, so I'm looking for a lot to happen in both sides, in the East and West. I still think that Texas A&M is the team to beat in the West. I think. Everybody's no one's giving those guys any credit because big bad Alabama, but I'm telling you, hey, everybody put those pants and cleats and helmets on the same way, and I'm telling you, it's gonna be different this year.
Yeah, I think so. Well, what else you got for us? Any news on recruiting before I get this next call? We've got a surprise caller coming up next. Hasn't been on the live stream in a while, and I want Billy to rough him up a little bit. But go ahead, Luke. What else you got? Anything on
Well,
recruiting?
yeah, well, some news today on recruiting. Tyler Barron, four-star defensive end from Tennessee, announced his top five today. It was a little bit under-anticipated, and that's just because, Tyler Barron is a guy that most people expect to go to Tennessee, and instead of committing, he just released the top five. Obviously, Tennessee made it. The two teams that Tennessee that legitimately have a chance at landing Barron, probably Tennessee and Oklahoma. I guess you could throw Ohio State in there. But Tennessee's way ahead of the pack on them. That's a four-star defensive end from Knoxville. Tennessee had a couple of five-stars on campus for official visits a couple weeks ago. That happened after the last time I talked to you. And it looks to be going really well on the recruiting trail right now. They're ranked in the 30s, but that's only because a lot of their targets haven't announced yet. I expect that to change by December. But have you told them about the podcast yet with me and Josh on Sunday, Catfish?
No, I was going to announce that later on, but go ahead and tell them what you got going, and then I'll get the surprise guest from Farragut, Tennessee, that's on the line. Go ahead,
Okay.
tell us.
So me and Josh Griffin, we're going to be doing a podcast every Sunday. That day could change, but as of right now, it's every Sunday. That way we can talk about the game from the previous week. We don't have a length yet. It's a variant. We're going to be talking about all the current events that's going on with Tennessee. We're going to be talking about all the off-season, things that happen in the off-season. We're going to be talking about a lot about recruiting and, of course, the game from the previous day. We're really excited for that. We hope you all can take a look at that, listen to it. And other than that, I'll let you all go ahead and take care of Ryan Schrick. Okay, I'll talk to you all later.
See ya.
All right.
Yeah, we got a lot of things going on, don't we, Billy?
Man, it's almost kind of overwhelming for me, man. I'm new to this stuff, and you putting it all on me. But hey, I'm gonna carry it. I think I can handle it.
Yeah, we got BVD's and Carter's gonna be doing a podcast on our new website, Not Volunteer Roadshow, our Fan Pride website. But it's been a long time since we've had this guy on the show, and I've been telling him. I told him the last time he's on, he was chirping about his Florida Gators, which I still can't get over. He's a Farragut student and he's a Gator fan. But Ryan, I'm so glad you called back in. Have you been doing your push-ups?
Oh, you best believe it. We back. We back, and we better than ever. I'm ready to go. Football season right around the corner, baby.
So how bad's Miami going to beat Florida?
Oh, they ain't standing ice cube, snowball chance in hell. That's what they got for you. Telling you right now, Miami still think they living back in 2001. They got a coach and never coached a game in his life. He's going to come out down to Orlando, week 0, August 24th. The thing he going to be Florida? Nah, that ain't happening.
Take care of my light work there, Billy.
Hey, sound like you know what he's talking
Right,
about,
the
man.
light work. You want to go?
Hey, I don't know. He might not be light anymore, man. He's been doing those push-ups. I'm slacking on my push-ups. I need to get back on the push-ups myself, man. 'Cause, hey, my pecs over is feeling kind of soft. So hey, you might need to come show me how to do push-ups, man.
So how have you been? You've been doing all right. You know I'm yanking your chain.
Oh, I've been doing good. Football season one day closer every day. You already know. The best season, better than fall, spring, summer, winter. Football season.
Are you going to come out and see us at Tap House for the Florida game?
Maybe. Possibly. I don't know.
I'll tell you what, you might
I haven't
want
really
to
thought that far ahead.
Well, I'm going to tell you now, you need to think about this before you say I'm going to be there so you can rub it in. It might be bad news for you to show up there, especially if we thump you like I know we're going to thump the Gators this year.
Oh, right. You don't want to get on this, dog. I'm telling you right now, I'll give you one chance to retreat.
So how come you haven't been watching us lately? What's your excuse?
I've been working. I've been making money, dog.
All right. It's a good excuse.
Are you started school?
Oh, yeah, I started school.
All right. Is Farragut going to have a good football team this year?
Oh, maybe.
All right.
Hopefully.
Yeah, I remember when
if we can get on Tennessee, we can get on Tennessee, Florida if you want. I got you if you want it.
Well, tell me what you think about it, because I'm gonna tell you right now, we're beating Florida. Dan Mullet ain't got it.
Tennessee can drag their lifeless carcass of a football program down to Gainesville, and they can attempt to put what they call a football team on that field, and then they can attempt to play what they think is football, but they know well that they ain't stand a chance. They're going to come down, and they're going to get beat 4 quarters of the game, absolutely demolished, and it's just going to be what it's going to happen. And then you can drag your carcass back up to Knoxville and recover for your next game and think about how you still can't beat Florida.
Billy, what do you think about that? Did we lose Billy?
Have a coach yet?
I don't know. I think.
Go ahead, Billy.
Hey, do Florida have a coach yet? I mean, do they still have their guy? What's his name? Muddling? Or as my guys on Facebook is saying, Butch 2.0. You guys gonna have to step it up this year, man. I don't think you guys are just there yet, man. I mean, I know you're talking smack because it's the Gators, it's the Swamp. The Vols haven't beat them in it forever, but hey, it's gonna be a good game this year. I don't think Florida is ready for what you think Tennessee has. Tennessee is gonna be something to working with this year.
Let's give Crying Ryan, and I've given him his nickname, Crying Ryan, on here. That's been his nickname since pretty much the beginning. But we're going to give him something to feel good about. Tell us what it was like playing as a player in the Swamp. What was it like down there at Florida and facing Steve Spurrier?
I mean, hey, the Swamp, that's probably the best stadium to play in, man, with the crowd jumping and rocking. I mean, they're always in it. No matter if they losing, winning, they're in it. Of course, I mean, if they're losing, it's even worse because they're going to probably punish you as much as the players going to try to punish you. Whether they're throwing bottles or anything, they're going to try to do it, whatever it takes to get their team back in the game. I always love playing in the Swamp because you always know they was going to bring their A game, the fans was going to be into it, and you're going to have so much smack being talked to you by the fans that's right behind you. That's like if you can see my jersey right there, that's how close their fans were to me. I can actually shake their hands. It was that much fun playing in the Swamp, man. I mean, now, I've never won in the Swamp, but I had fun in the Swamp. So it was a great place to play in, man. The Gators, Gainesville is always a good, the Swamp. I mean, we never got to win the way I wanted to win. So it's hard for me to just brag and talk noise because I never won, but I still say, it's still one of the best stadiums to play in, though.
Yeah, and Steve Spurrier, I tell you what, a lot of us Tennessee fans don't like him, but he's starting to wear on me a little bit, especially after the story Billy told me. And maybe you can repeat it now about Steve Spurrier contacting you there in the hospital when your career ended.
Yeah, well, Coach Spur, a good guy, man. He was one of those coaches that he knew that they had great teams back then, but he'll tell you to this day that the Volunteers had always had a better team overall than his Gators. But he did something that I wish most coaches will take in heart and use what he said. I used what I had to the best of my ability. I knew my offensive line sucked. So guess what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna make sure y'all defensive linemen don't get to my quarterback by getting rid of that ball real quick. He utilized what he had. He had speed, so he'd throw it up, he lobbed it up and let the guy go get it. Quick slants. It was just so much things. He's a pleasant guy to talk to, man. He has that old country voice that's just so laid back and he has all these stories that you'd be like, wow, man. It's just you almost feel like he was your coach. He was a good guy, man. Great guy though.
Before you go, Ryan, do you think Kelly Bryant deserves a ring?
Oh, man couldn't handle, got beat out by a freshman, and he was like, bye, I don't want to deal with this. Didn't even play the rest of the year. I mean, what did he do? He won three games for them, and then he got benched, and then he was like, sorry, the bench is not comfortable. If you put some cushions on that, maybe I'll stay, but then he's like, bye.
Yeah. Well, you're a lot smarter than you look there, crying Ryan, so I didn't think you had it in you. But come on out and see us during the season at Tap House. I'd love to be able to meet you. I give you a lot of grief, but you've always supported me, and I don't care who your favorite team is. We love everybody over here, don't we, Billy?
Yes, sir. You already know it, man.
All right, Ryan, I appreciate you calling. Do you have anything before you go? You got anything else you want to say?
Oh, yeah, I got one last thing.
What's that?
I got one last thing. Florida beating Tennessee by 3 touchdowns minimum. That's what I got to say.
All right, I'm hitting the drop call button here.
And that's all I got to say about that, because Stone Cold said so.
I hope he comes out to the Tap House. Man, I hope he does. I'm going to put him in a headlock, Billy.
Did he really just say 3 touchdowns?
Yeah.
Oh, man.
He's crazy.
Yeah, I think he still think they have Danny Werfer and those guys. They don't have that anymore. I mean, they got good players, but I don't think they got 21 points to beat anybody this year.
Yeah, I don't either. Well, anyway, all right. Have you thought about the worst locker room you've ever been to as an opposing player on the road? Give us some stories about the worst facilities and locker room, or maybe locker room experiences on the road.
Let's see. I say that the worst locker room I went into, I would probably say Auburn Tigers. Auburn, their locker room, it was, college football, we have a lot of people that's going to go in this one locker room. And I think my studio right here was bigger than the locker room that they had. It was so, the model was just bad. Whoever was the engineer that created that, they did a good job, making sure the visiting team is uncomfortable. Because, anytime you can go into even the restroom was bad, Bobby. I'm going to tell you how bad the restroom was. Okay, so normally when you go into a restroom and you have like different stalls, they have the dividers, have your doors on it, and you can close it with a little bit of privacy when you're going to be using the restroom, not standing up but sitting down. So Auburn's locker room, when you have to sit down to use the restroom, instead of it being a divider with the doors closed, well, it's wide open, and in between the 2 toilets right here, which you can look next door to your neighbor, like we're looking at each other right now. If you turn to your left and I turn to my left, and you're looking at each other, and like, oh no, man, I can't do this. I would just wait till everybody go on the field and just run in there and use the restroom real quick before anybody get in there. It was the worst restroom, worst locker room ever. I was like, man, I hope we don't ever have to come back here again.
Oh my God.
Yeah, it was bad, Bobby.
So you think they did that on purpose?
Man, they had to, man. I mean, I don't know if they did it so you can feel uncomfortable, but it most definitely wasn't comfortable at all.
Did was our visitor locker room? What were they like? I'm sure you've seen them. I mean, were
Yeah.
they?
Well, I mean,
They weren't like ours, but I'm sure they were decent, weren't they?
it's a decent locker room. I'm not gonna say it's state of the art or anything like that. You don't have any, decorations or anything with. And I mean, it's just a plain locker room. You got, at least it's comfortable. It's not something where you got to fight for a shower, or fight for a toilet, or anything like that. It's peaceful. There's no
Sounded
peace.
like that.
There was no peace in Auburn's locker room.
Sounded like it was one of them prison locker rooms or something.
Gosh, that's what it looked like. I mean, I wish there was someone that has pictures of that just to upload it, just to see just that, because it was horrible. And look, even my son, he played he played Auburn when he was at Georgia Southern when he his junior year. And I said, dude, you're going to hate that locker room. I'm telling you, man. Wait till you see it. And, of course, after the game, he's like, Dad, man, you was right, man. This thing was terrible, man. He's like, I had to hold my guts in until everybody left so I can go and use the restroom in peace.
Not that I've ever used one or seen one in person, but it sounds like it didn't have one of them metal toilet seats, did it, like they have in jail?
I don't even remember, man. I don't even think I even sat on the toilet, man. I was in and out. Yeah, I just did one of those quick Peyton Manning calls. Omaha, let's get out of here.
Well, is there any other stadiums out
well,
there?
all of them. I mean, the rest of them was pretty much decent. I think the Gators, it wasn't that big, but at least it was decent. It wasn't like Auburn, man. Auburn, it was a nightmare.
Well, we got a Georgia fan calling us in here. Tell us about the Georgia locker room. What was it like, Billy, as a visitor?
Actually, Georgia locker room wasn't too bad. I mean, they had a pretty good locker room, nice size. I mean, it's just everything that comes back to me is Auburn when I look at a locker room, man. If you got doors that close up so no one can't see you using the restroom, that's different. But when you don't have any doors on your locker, on your bathroom stall, that's not gonna get it. I don't like seeing my neighbors when I'm on my stall like that.
Well, we got a great Georgia fan. What's going on, Shane?
Hey guys, just wanted to call in. It's been super long, haven't been on the show, but I just wanted to say that's awesome, and I'm glad the Georgia visitors side had some good locker rooms. So we want to make you comfortable, so when you get blown out of the game, you're still okay, you're comfortable. So I can glad to hear that.
What's your first game of the season, Shane?
Georgia, they play Vandy first in Nashville. So that's the first game. Then they have like two nobodies. I think it's Murray State, and I can't think of the other team. Then they play Notre Dame, the fourth game in Athens. So that's, of course, like the real first big game. So that should be a good one. I know Athens is going to be going crazy. But I do want to say really quick, as soon as y'all were talking about Tennessee games, I was looking to see what day the Georgia and Tennessee game was on, which is on October 5th. And no lie, I've got to go to a wedding that day. And I was just thinking, why do people schedule weddings during college football season? I just don't understand it. So won't be able to make it up this year, but I know it's going to be not quite the 41-0 game that it was in Knoxville the last time. But it should be a good one. I think actually Tennessee that should be pretty improved this year. They just need some more recruiting classes to really get more depth, though.
Yeah, it ought to be against the law in the southeast country to have a wedding after the first game in the first week of the season. Totally. Got to be a law.
They need to make that a law, because that's not fair, man. Like anytime I hear someone that's scheduled a wedding like on any Saturday during football season or Sunday, I don't care what day it is. I'm like, That's just like going to the DMV on a weekend. Why would you do that? It's not open, so it should be closed. And I'd always thought that the ladies do that just to kind of say she has a little power, that she is the real boss in a sense. So mine knew not to do that
True.
because it wasn't going to happen that way. Because I don't think I would have showed up if mine was on a Saturday doing a football game that at least that I wanted to watch. Because I
See,
tell you
this is how you fix that.
well, because I
Here's
tell
how
you
you fix that, Billy.
How you fix that, Bobby?
You don't put the real diamond in the ring until they come up with a date. You put one of them fake diamonds or codians in the ring, and that's kind of an insurance policy. Don't tell them, and propose to them, and then when she sets a date, if she sets a good date, you say, "Okay, I'm gonna take your ring and put a real diamond in it." And if you don't, she can keep the diamond and the ring, and she ain't lost nothing.
I like that. That's actually a good idea.
I see Pigskin Pete in the house. How you doing, Pigskin? But yeah, that's crazy. What do you think about the game this year? Are y'all going 11-1? You're not going 12-0. You're going to have a loss. Who are you most worried about as a Georgia fan?
Catfish, that's actually a really good question. This is actually going to kind of go against what you just said, because I agree with you. Usually since Curry's been there after his second season going on, there's been that one loss, and it's been to that SEC West team that he has to go out there and play. But to tell you the truth, I really do think they very well could go 12-0 this time. I say that because now Georgia has depth. But to tell you the truth, I really do think they very well could go 12-0. A quick example, like when they were in the SEC championship game last year. Because now, if they had the depth they do now, I think Georgia wins. It's they just didn't have the depth to really get the game and or should I say keep the game. And so I think I really do think they actually do go undefeated, and I could be wrong. Definitely could be wrong. If they do have one loss, and just because it's been the current trend, I have to say even though I think they're better than Auburn, because Auburn, the quarterback situation, goodness gracious, that would be the main game. What do you think?
Well, I think you guys are gonna have a little bit tougher season than everybody is saying. They think that because Georgia, that what they did last year, they're gonna repeat it. I'm still worried with Georgia with the fact that they got two new coordinators. That's always tough when you have, especially on the defense side of the ball, because you got so much in the SEC that you got to worry about, and when you have a offense like Alabama has, offense like that Texas A&M have, and you're thinking about the West. Yes, I know you already think that the East is already won because of what they did last year, but I think they're gonna be waking up and smelling the coffee a lot sooner than they think, because if the first game of the season, I think you said they have Vanderbilt.
They do, yeah.
Well, Vanderbilt right now is sitting on the highest pedestal they have ever sat on in their lives, coming into from a year that they did really well because they beat a lot of teams that they shouldn't have beat. Georgia is not going to push them around like everybody think they are. They have a coach that these kids want to play for. And that's what I always say every kid need to have is a player's coach. And, and that's what Mason is. He's done a great job with getting those guys together. I really think that you guys would struggle with them the first game, even though I think you guys will win that game.
I think. Let me tell you something. Here, I'm no genius, but I'm pretty close when it comes to football. I'm going to tell you who you need to worry about. Not only you need to worry about it, but any gumps we got listening to the show, y'all need to worry about Texas A&M. I'm telling you, and I think y'all play them this year.
They do. So I'm going to answer kind of both y'all's points. But really quick, I'll say if Georgia was playing at A&M and Auburn was at home, I would be leaning more maybe positively to 11-1 record. But since they have A&M at home, that gives them the edge, in my opinion, because I believe Athens is going to be rocking and just going crazy. So I think it could be a close game, but I think Georgia will edge it out for having that home field advantage. But I'll tell you, Billy, I actually agree with you in regards to Derek Mason. I respect him. To me, he's a rock solid coach for what he brings to Vandy. But I think just in the trenches, Georgia's O-line is just sick. It's just sick, nasty. So it might be a close game at first, but I think second half that Georgia just pulls away and just kind of makes it not even close. So, but I could be wrong. It could be a lot closer than I think it will be. But I think that's if there is another potential way of a loss, Bobby, it will be I think A&M, because I think Georgia. I think they rolled Notre Dame, to be honest with you, just because that's going to be another high-profile game that Georgia's going to be ready for. But either way, guys, I'm actually about to take a quick shower, but I just wanted to give a quick call in and just say hey, and definitely praying for the little guy, Catfish, and I have to grab one of those shirts as well. But I really do appreciate you guys taking the call.
I appreciate it. You've always supported this show, and it's guys like you that keep us going, buddy. So have a good weekend.
Y'all too. Take care, Billy, and I'll catch y'all next time.
All right, man. You take care.
All right, we're going to go down to the Tater Patch. Down to South Carolina. Let's see what we got going on down there in South Carolina. What you got for the legendary Billy Ratliff and Catfish?
Hey, it's the number one tater, Big Skin Pete. How you fellas doing tonight?
Hey,
How you doing, buddy?
Man. How about yourself?
Yeah, I'm great. I got a question for Billy, if I can do so, please, sir.
Talk to me.
All right, so the news, and I don't even know why we're talking about this. As a matter of fact, I'm almost a little bit ashamed that I'm still talking about it. But it seems to be what everyone's talking about. So I want to get the point of view from an actual football player instead of us, crazy fans. So Kelly Bryant, last year, plays 4 games. Because of the new transfer rule, decides to transfer. They go on to win the national championship without him. They play 11 games without him. Dabo Swinney decides not to send my man a national championship ring. Billy, if you were Kelly Bryant, would you expect to get a national championship ring after playing 4 games and then leaving on your own accord?
Not at all, man. That's just like saying, I got my degree from Clemson after I transferred to another school and expecting to get that piece of paper. Why would you want your degree from Clemson if you transfer to another school? So, I mean, you don't. It's not even possible. That's almost like a participation trophy. You don't want that. You don't need that. I mean, it's just yeah. I mean, he just wanted so he can post it and say, "Look what I got." That's all that is. Right now, no, he does not deserve it. Dabo did the right thing. You don't know. You didn't. You left the team. That's the true meaning when I say he actually left the team. He actually quit the team. He had no reason to quit. He got injured. Someone came in to replace him. But he's mad because he's on the bench. It's called you got to earn your job back before you can get these stripes now. Your stripes been taken off.
Yeah.
Coach did the right thing by not sending him a ring. He does not deserve it. He's just saying that because he wants to be talked about right now. And that's the way it is today. You want to be talked about, want to be heard. So let's cause a ruckus and say, I deserve a ring.
Yeah, you know what the funny thing was is that he actually does. He didn't even say he wanted the ring. They're giving him hell because he didn't get the ring, but he doesn't even want the ring. That's number one. Number two, I was the biggest defender of Kelly Bryant when he left. I said, look, he's taking advantage of a new rule. He's a senior. If he got benched and he's not going to take one, if he takes one more snap at Clemson, whether it's in cleanup duty or otherwise, then his college career is over. He has dreams of going to the NFL. I said, look, the guy deserves to be able to leave. He's taking advantage of the rule. He graduated from Clemson. He doesn't owe Clemson anything, and he left. But look, once you leave, all bets are off, man. No ring for you. You didn't help him win the championship. People say, "Oh, he helped him win." If it weren't for him, he would have. They would have lost to Texas A&M. I don't know what these people think. They have some kind of crystal ball or magical powers or something. But how do you know what would have happened if he would have not played in that game? I mean, that's speculation as far as I'm concerned. So I'm glad to hear a person like you who actually played college football set all these other jamokes and fools straight and tell them that no, he does not deserve to get a ring.
Well, most definitely, man. I mean, I don't want the ring, man. So, yes, I mean, that's just unheard of. I mean, I just like, I don't even know what else to say because it's just, that don't even sound right. Giving a ring, that's just like me. Matter of fact, I'm called Dabo right now and say, I deserve a national championship ring. Because guess what? Because I played for a team that was orange, too. So
hey,
I need a ring.
Guess what? I deserve a ring. I want a ring right now. If I don't get a ring in the mail by next week, I'm going to be pissed because I've been bleeding out here in this college football world for Clemson more than half of them motherfuckers on the bench.
Mm-hmm.
I'm sorry, I didn't mean to cuss. But anyway, I'll let you go. I just wanted to hear that perspective from Billy. Great show. Thank you.
All right, buddy. Thank you, Peace Kid. Well, I'll tell you what, I see somebody in the super chat over here. It's been a while since he's been over here. I'm telling you, Billy, football season is getting cranked up. Half these guys disappear from February through August, well, July anyway, and then they start showing up. Another Georgia fan to add to the tally of Georgia fans, Joshua Simmons. Been following me from the beginning. Glad to have you back, Joshua. I hope you're going to be back all the way through when Tennessee beats Georgia this year. Don't disappear after the game, Joshua. But great to have you in here. He knows I'm playing around with him, but I think you're right. If he would have just rode the bench and rode it out, then transferred, then, yeah, he deserves a ring.
Well, I mean,
but he quit.
I don't think he would have rode the bench long because he got hurt the next game. He was out with a concussion. Remember, he got knocked out. He would have been right back in there with his job all over again.
Yep.
Patience.
I tell you what, Goldilocks, Trevor Lawrence, I know he grew up a Tennessee fan and went to Clemson, did the best thing for him, but you played college football at a high level. Tell me what's going on in Trevor Lawrence's mind, growing up a Tennessee fan, pretty much born and raised in Tennessee, diehard Big Orange fan, and he goes to Clemson. Do you think that all that affinity that he had for the Vols just disappears and he's 100% Clemson? Or do you think it's strictly business down there at Clemson and he's still a Vol fan? What do you think?
I mean, of course, being from Tennessee, I'm quite sure he still has that at heart. But, once you go to a team, another college school, that team is just your childhood team that you wanted to play for. Right now, he's a Tiger now. He would never even claim that he even lived in Tennessee land or anything or whatsoever. He's on a team that's creating a dynasty right now. So it's going to be hard for him to even consider that shade of orange in his head. So I can't imagine him thinking about, I used to be a Vol fan with him. I would be different being if I was from the state of Tennessee and went to a different school. But I'm quite sure I probably would have stayed at home if I had a team the caliber of Tennessee. But at the time, he didn't have a chance to play for a caliber team at the time. And it's probably worked out best that he didn't because the coaches that he would have had to play for.
So you telling me 5 years from now or even 3 years from now, Tennessee's in the college football playoffs, Clemson isn't, and we win, you don't think there's any sort of excitement going on with him at all?
None whatsoever. I think he'll be saying it just like everybody else. Oh, they got lucky.
Come on, man.
They don't deserve to be. That's how it is, man. I mean, my volunteers have been hated since day one, since I got stepped on campus. No media's like my Vols, but they put the orange on. They look in the mirror and they say, "Dang, I look good."
Slim Bosley says, I thought he was from Georgia. He went to Georgia for high school, or at least his senior season, to kind of, I think it was to help him get ready for going to college. But, yeah, it's pretty well known that he was a Vols fan growing up, and all his family's Tennessee fan. But he played high school ball down there in Georgia. But that just disappoints me. I guess as a Vol fan, I just can't believe he doesn't have any love for us anymore. That ain't right. That ain't right.
Hey, it's coming back, Bobby. Trust me, it's coming back, man. As a matter of fact, I mean, I hope the ones that left don't come back, because I don't like the bandwagon, man. I don't like it. You know, it's like everybody was all of a sudden became a Patriot fan. All of a sudden, you know, everybody became a Bama fan. I'm like, man, y'all act like Bama was good forever. No, they was not. Bama used to be Tennessee.
Remember Jeff Foxworthy?
Yes.
He had that, you might be a redneck.
Mm-hmm.
If you don't know your last three coaches, you might be a Bama fan. I'm going to do a series. I've been thinking about that. You might be a bandwagon fan. You just might be, and then I'll have some different things going with it. But I thought about that last night. I'm going to get my camera phone, crank back up. Got some great, funny stuff I'm working on. And y'all, I just presented one of my ideas. You might be a Bama fan. Got some things going on there. But we got Vodka Drinker says that Dobbs looked good for the Steelers in the first half. That's right. He started tonight. You think Dobbs could be number one in line behind Roethlisberger? I think he's pretty much number two, isn't he?
Well, I mean, I say so. I mean, because, you know, they didn't get rid of him last year when they had some trade options for him. So I think the coaching staff saw some great things in Dobbs. I mean, Dobbs is he's a good quarterback, man. I think he can work that system. You know, I think they can cater to him a little bit better with that system. Big Ben, that's just his house. I mean, he's going to retire there. And as far as the backups, I mean, there's no such thing as backups anymore. So if I was Dobbs, I'd be trying to be a lone snapper or something just to get on the field. So, but he's a quarterback. Just collect the check and keep it moving.
That's right. Killer Mime's in the house. I think he's a Georgia fan. I'm pretty sure he's a Georgia fan. It's been so long. I know who your team is, Killer Mime. I'm just ragging with you. You said it's been a while. It has been a while, but all my regulars are coming back. It's football time, man. I'm getting excited. You're going to be speaking for a high school team pretty soon. Is that still on?
Oh yeah, that's still on, man. BBD got that set up for me. I think it's on the 21st. I'll be in Greenville, and I might go to the game on Thursday when they go up to Powell, since it's right down the street. So, I'm ready to see some football. So I don't care if it's high school, Pee Wee. I'm ready to see something.
Yeah, me too. The best time of year. Don't forget, we got our shirts. If y'all are just now checking out, help us raise money for leukemia. #SamStrong. In honor of my son, Sam, who was diagnosed with leukemia back in January. Got some killer shirts with Billy's big play on the front of it. It's on our website, volunteerroadshow.com. I'm pretty sure on the YouTube side I put it in the link, but we were in such a rush, and Billy was in such a rush with his crab legs, we might not have got it in the description. But if it isn't, just remember, volunteerroadshow.com. Check out the shirts, man. They're awesome. They're autographed by Billy with a real Sharpie right on the numbers, got his number on the back. Man, they're just killer shirts. And be looking for some other things that we've got coming down the pike. We're writing articles now. Got some great articles we put up on our Facebook page. So if you check us out on Facebook, you guys over on YouTube. And YouTube, check us out. Facebook. Check us out on YouTube. We got a lot of stuff we put up on YouTube that we don't put up on Facebook. So go subscribe right now to Volunteer Roadshow. Hit that bell notification so you're notified when we go live. And I see we got a vodka drinker donated $3.33. Said, Billy, did you ever want to get into coaching?
I did coaching a little while, for us the high school rank. College, I didn't want to do college, man. It's just too much being away from your family and stuff, and it's just it's a nightmare to me. I couldn't imagine being, 10, 11 months out of the year away from your family, not coming home to 2, 3 o'clock in the mornings, dissecting film. It's different, man. I would rather just train kids, teach them, the things that I learned, how to perfect their game as a defensive lineman or offensive lineman, because we got the same motion. But there's so much when it comes to college football or high school football. I'm a family man. I like hanging out with my family and friends on the weekends and stuff. It's a luxury that I'm getting used to again.
I think he had a super chat last week or the week before last. Want to know if you've got a good barbecue sauce recipe that doesn't involve grape jelly or something. You got any barbecue sauce? What's your favorite barbecue sauce?
I actually don't have a favorite, man. I'll give you a quick story about me and Sean Johnson. Always, when we get together, we're always cooking. And, of course, we always trying to come up with the best spices and herbs and seasoned stuff. And of course, we always to the side over there, we're trying to sneak and mix up some stuff to make a sauce to put on it. So typically, I always create my own sauce when we're putting stuff on meat and things like that. But if I put anything on it, because typically when I season it and you taste it, you don't want to put any sauce on it.
I see BVD's in the house. We just talked about Billy going to go talk to your boys, BVD, coming up pretty soon. But you're coming down to the last of it. How long have we been streaming there, Billy?
Let's see here. Looks like we've been on for a little bit over hour 9.
Well, we try to keep this around an hour or less. Went over a little bit, but it's okay to go over when we're talking to fans. I don't care if it's Shane Bentley, a Georgia fan, or Crying Ryan, a Florida fan. It doesn't matter. We love all of yous over here, and don't forget to keep watching out for our videos. We got some great, huge things going on with Volunteer Roadshow, and I've got to thank Billy. Man, he's helped this show out like you wouldn't believe, and he's a great friend. But I guess we're going to get out of here. Do you have anything you want to say to everybody before we go?
Just check out the website, guys. Got a lot of good things in there to keep up to date. See what we're doing, and saying, like I said, we Sam Strong is a big thing that we're trying to get going right now, and check the shirts out, man. This is something I've never done before in my life, as far as trying to raise money and awareness for different things, and I think it's a good thing that we're trying to do, and hopefully everybody contribute and help out to the best that they can. It don't have to, put in $100. 50 cents, anything counts. That's what we want to make sure happens. So go in there and check it out, and we're gonna have fun this year all season, guys.
Yeah, I agree with you. Well, those that have been watching me for a while, Billy, they know what's coming next. Thanks for tuning in. Go Vols. Crying Ryan is going to be doing some serious crying after the Florida-Tennessee game this year. I promise you that.
Yes, sir.
All right, well, let's shut this thing down, buddy.
All right, man, I got you.